Hey everybody, I'm Christopher Green. You're watching Alternative Media Television. I want to clarify a little bit on Adam Kokesh. For those of you that have never heard of Adam Kokesh, he's an activist. He actively served in Iraq and Fallujah. He lives in the Washington, D.C. area. He had planned an armed march in Washington, D.C., which there is no open carry in the District of Columbia. It is not a state, so very controversial. The Supreme Court had ruled on this not too long ago. And that is the basis and was the basis for Adam Kokesh's reasoning behind, well, we should be able to open carry. Now, the march was canceled. It was picked up by the mainstream media. It was canceled by Kokesh, which I openly criticize. And it's not that I'm not for the Second Amendment. I'm probably the biggest Second Amendment advocate on the planet, period. Pro-gun, pro-America, pro the right to form militias in this country, because without them, we would not have America. We would not have a system. But I want to be clear, because I've openly criticized Adam Kokesh, and I think personally, this is just my honest gut instinct take, the planned armed march, which was canceled, which I called out before it was canceled, was very much a publicity stunt for Adam Kokesh. I didn't agree with it, because I didn't think it was the right way to go about creating activism around the Second Amendment. I think it very much painted the liberty movement in a crackpot light, and it was inherently unsuccessful. In fact, the only success that we can measure from it was what I said in my open critique from the very beginning, is that it was very much a publicity stunt for Adam Kokesh. So the way that he's been going about publicizing his movement, his Adam versus the man movement, even with the recent arrest, and I'm going to get into what I think is major about the story, but he's been asking to be targeted by the federal government. He's been asking to be targeted by these groups, by the Obama administration, and by the police department, and by SWAT. But the story, to me, what Adam has done a really good job of displaying, which I think is a success, is he has shown the gross totalitarian nature of what this government is. Treating Adam Kokesh like he is a grade A Islamic fundamentalist extremist terrorist on par with Osama bin Laden, who, of course, his body was dumped overseas, and we don't even know if he even existed, could have very well been the Easter Bunny or Santa Claus. That, to me, is the story, and that is what I think is the strange and peculiar success of what we've seen happen. A flashbang grenade, 20 SWAT officers, black helicopters in his neighborhood. The mainstream media are clearly making, and this is what Obama is doing, because Obama is well aware of this, they're making an example of Adam Kokesh and are trying to make the American people very fearful of what it means to be a liberty activist, a constitutionalist, a freedom fighter, a lover of liberty, to any degree, paint you in the picture and in the light that you are a terrorist, that they will come after you, they will raid your home, they don't even have to announce that they have a warrant, they will destroy your property, they will lock you up indefinitely. That is what the National Defense Authorization Act and the NDAA is. So as much as I have openly critiqued Adam, which is what you can expect from me, because I'm always going to give you my honest take. This isn't a popularity contest. I'm just going to give you what my opinion is and call it the way I see it. I think it was a publicity stunt from the very beginning. And I'll still hold on to that belief and that criticism. But again, what I see is the flagrant and apparent overreaching argument here is how the government is reacting to somebody like Adam Kokesh, who may in fact be asking to be targeted. And I know a lot of people say, well, is he counterintelligence? Is he somebody that is trying to skew public perception around the Second Amendment, organize a potential violent event so that it can be used as a potential situation to blacklist the liberty movement altogether? We don't really know. I don't know Adam Kokesh personally. Who knows? He could very well be working for somebody else. We know he openly doesn't pay taxes here in America. A lot of hardcore activists do not do that. We know that he's very much a proponent of marijuana, psychedelic drugs. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's largely legal in a lot of places, including California. But we really don't know. But I knew from the very beginning that none of this smelled right. But to me, the takeaway from all this is how the government is treating Adam. how they've targeted him, how they've really used this authoritarian and these authoritarian tactics against him, which makes all of us an enemy of the state now, where there is no freedom of speech, there is no ability to protest in a peaceful manner. And, really, what has Adam done? He loaded a shotgun. Is that illegal? Well, it arguably is in the District of Columbia, but the Supreme Court has actually ruled otherwise. So this is where we need to get into the debate and the discussion, and we need to open up the narrative within the American people. And we need to protect people, as controversial as Adam Kokesh is, and the things that he's done that maybe I don't personally agree with. We need to honestly open up that discussion to America, because if you want to live in a police state, guess what? We're in one now. We live in a police state. This is a totalitarian government. This is the rise of Nazi Germany in America. We need to protect people like Adam Kokesh. We need to protect freedom, liberty lovers, and activists of all forms, shapes, and sizes, whether or not we agree with what they're saying or not. Because that's what makes America beautiful, special. That's what has made America. That's what's founded this country in the first place. I'm Christopher Green. I'm going to keep you posted. Hard-hitting it in your face. This is Alternative Media Television. Get it out there. Please share with your friends and family and across your social media networks. Peace.